Hey, that's it. Woo! Hello,
Girl,
everyone. Welcome to Poetic Divas LLC,
put some respect on it.
because we do. And yeah, we're here again. And I'm going to just tell y'all, it's been a long week.
I'm trying to smile and not yawn at the same time.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you right now. And to all our fellow entrepreneur females, it's Women's Month.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. What better way to kick off the month than to be here with y'all? The Poetic Divas LLC.
I done did it. I done did it. Hold on. I need 5 more minutes. A
Okay.
little more praise break. A little more praise break. Look.
Oh,
Okay, I'm back.
yes, yes. So yeah, ooh, and just thinking about women, we wear so many hats that I don't even know. I don't even think we know at any point how many hats we actually wear.
Right. That part.
And that's
Hats
why,
and pants. Hats and pants.
oh my God. And so that's why the weeks are long. But we did have a couple of polls though. I mean,
We did.
in the midst.
They chimed in.
Look, they offered they what? Two.
Since.
I guess we can kind of just talk about that. So for 1 week we had our poll, do you associate a happy relationship with financial security?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That was one. I was there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 42% said yes and 58% said no. That's interesting.
I got questions.
You got questions.
I got questions.
Do we want to unpack and discuss now? Or do we want to tell all the polls? You let me know how you want to do
Yeah, I feel like we need to go ahead and unpack this.
it. Well,
Like,
let's say less.
okay. Because I'm like, okay, so first and foremost, I have an issue with happy, uh, like a happy relationship. Like most relationships are supposed to be happy, but if you're only happy because you're financially secure, are you really happy? Like
Ooh. So your relationship is based off of what?
finances, money, shit that you should have for yourself and not should be relating on or depending on your mate to provide for you. Like,
What?
where's them at? Like, I don't understand how people, okay, petty moment, yet not so petty. I
Already,
don't
already.
understand how some people be like, oh my God, my baby did this, my baby did that, like she loves me, oh my God, like she bought me all these new shoes and stuff, and like, oh my God, she so loves me and stuff. Like, I can love you without buying you shit. Why I gotta buy you shit for you to appreciate my love and generosity?
And I mean, is there a price tag on this thing called love? Huh.
I think there is in this modern day and age. Because a lot of these young folk, they be all talking about securing the bag, and then your man got to have the bag. And why y'all got to have so much baggage? I just had questions like,
And it seems as if you can't even, get in any type of relationship without the baggage as we get older.
right?
So it's also causing me to even question whether or not I want to be bothered at all. This
Right.
just
But
me.
look, before we be bothered, though, I'm dry. I'm just,
You got.
like we fast forwarded like it was like Back to the Future right now. Like yes, we had.
I mean, just so they know,
Oh, well, damn, y'all
oh,
see, I clean my stuff. Don't
I
judge.
see that.
That's water.
It's all right. You need that water for hydration purposes. It's okay. All right,
I'm
we're
still
gonna
waiting
do
for
it.
the sponsor though. It's
Oh,
gonna sponsor this
I'm
one.
waiting on it. Look, and I got to hide my bottle because
Right.
it ain't time yet. But when they sponsor us, we'll proudly, boldly advertise.
I'm gonna wear this on from around my neck and in my mouth, like for real, like.
Okay, I don't really know where we're going, but yeah.
Meaning I'm gonna put it all down my throat without the glass, like for real, like. I
Ooh.
want to design. Okay, this is random, but I want to design like when we be sponsored, and y'all people provide us with this beautiful, delicious wine. I want to design the bottle too, so it'll be
Ooh.
like a logo, like you can see the glass and the bottle, and then going down my throat, like. That's
I
another
mean, you might
question.
as well. You already designing the glasses.
I know.
So yes. Okay. So now we can finish, going in.
Yep. Because my throat is hydrated right now.
So it's almost like we have to define what this quote unquote happy is. And I feel like it starts with the individual.
Mm-hmm.
Too often we search for our happy in others.
Instead
So
of ourselves. What?
just
Fuck your life coaching. You life coaching tonight.
I ain't really trying to coach nobody tonight. I'm just talking. I'm just, just keeping it real for the 99 and the 2000.
You're working with some
Retroactive.
hair. Okay, so
No.
you can't say that without age
Right.
group.
You're right. Ooh, it just depends on where you at, though.
I'm working with some ass hair, a fat hair.
See.
Look, I'm silly as fuck. I'm tired. Look, I apologize in advance for the fact that I'm tired as fuck. So y'all gonna get what y'all gonna get tonight. I'm sorry. That's what you gonna get.
I
never know. Shit.
I mean, just because you're tired don't mean you don't show up to the table.
But some people do. Like they just like, oh, I'm so tired, I can't show up. So just go ahead and eat the table without me. Like I was
Were they really gonna show up?
Huh?
Were they really gonna show up?
They claimed they were. Like a lot of relationships. They claimed it was gonna be there to the end, till the wheels fall off, until they realize they ain't like wheels. So then, they have to be required to get there.
I'll be there. So they lied. Oh, okay.
They thought they were MC Hammer relevant in the 2021 year.
Now that's a low blow. So you mean tell me, hammer pants can't be popping no more? That's not no hammer pants.
Nope.
All right. So there's that.
There's that.
Our second poll,
Mm-hmm.
also relationship related.
Right.
Right. Was for those of you that are actively dating during the pandemic, is communication.
Actively.
Yeah, that, and you know what I think? I think that's why, there was some confusion in how that question should have been answered. Because, so look, it says, for those of you actively dating during this pandemic, is communication higher up on your list of non-negotiables?
Well, first and foremost, before we even dive into this question, we need to address the fact of the definition of actively, because apparently some people don't understand that definition.
Okay. Define that for the layman's.
So meaning you are making a conscious effort to go out and meet people and thus find out about them and see if you're compatible with them.
Mm-hmm.
In this state of the fact that you can't have a lot of physical closeness to each other, i.e., I can't smash you on the first date and then figure out how we want to do it. No, we have to actively speak to each other as if we know how to converse and then know ourselves enough to actually put our good selves forward in this relationship. We're not going to sit up here and sign up our representatives for a relationship that's going to die in the last 2 minutes. I'm just saying.
I feel like you feel very strongly about this.
I do. Because a lot of people try to say they're actively doing things and don't even know what the term actively means, apparently.
Well, you know, therein may lie the issue, because if we are using the pandemic as a reason to finally examine the levels and the meanings and the purpose and the desire to have good communication in our dating, that's why we have the problems we have now.
But I mean, if they're only using their manners in dating during the pandemic, why couldn't you use those manners prior to the pandemic? Like, why you gotta wait till you're forced to actually hold a conversation with someone to hold a conversation with them?
And that just may be it, being forced. Because you're not going to volunteer to be uncomfortable.
Or maybe they don't know that they're uncomfortable until they're forced to acknowledge it. Like, maybe they're just doing the bare minimum in life to get by. And that's enough for them. And if that's enough for you to just do the bare minimum to get by, why do you want me? Because I am not basic. I'm extra.
Extra, read all about it.
Right. Key term, read. You have to learn how to read and articulate the words that are coming out my mouth. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, some people like pop-up books. I don't. You
Some people just like color by number.
Can they count them?
No, it doesn't have to be in order. Just in the order of their chaos.
Right. And don't get me started on chaos, because you know I love me some organized chaos. Like, that's my, ooh, like, look, let me be real with y'all. I am not the neatest person in the world. I'm not the most linear person when it comes to thinking or concepts. I'm very abstract in my life. Like, I do a lot. I know a lot. I'm a master of none, but I know a lot. So if you feel like it's going to be a straightforward thing to date me or whatever, it pretty much is, because I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty laid back. But at the same time, you can't follow a straight line to get to what I'm talking about, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very cognizant of this fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I let people know, like, look, I'm going to be doing a lot. I'm going to say a lot. Sometimes I'm going to come at you with some random questions. It's going to be like in the middle of the day, you at work, you grind, you doing your stuff. And I'll be like, hey, random question, not some random question. So if Smurfs lived in mushrooms, like, were they magic mushrooms? Like, shit like this, like, it fascinates me, like, questions like this. So I know people don't understand. My best friend did, okay. But that's what I'm talking about, like, stuff like that. And if you can't have a conversation like that with me, then I'll be like, oh, you regular people, okay? I love you from a distance, bye.
And you know, it's so funny that you say that, because the things that make people individuals can offset and therefore create great friendships, partnerships, relationships of any type.
Mm-hmm.
So just like for you and I, we have differences, but our differences in thought create great ideas,
Mm-hmm.
great poems. We just work well together, because there are times that I'm so linear and straightforward that your abstract thought brings out creativity in me. Your creativity may just be so abstract that you can't horn it in to get it into a palatable form. So we just, and that's why I love when we can actually get a chance to write together.
Right.
My favorite person to write with. Favorite.
the only person I would like to write with, because I don't write with many people. And look, after all these years, how many group pieces have I written? You could probably count it on one hand.
Yep, it's wonderful.
But I mean,
yes,
it's not bad or necessarily a good thing, really, especially when it comes to dating, because I guess a lot of people who date, and I'm not one to date. I'm sorry, I don't like people. I mean, that's not a dig at anybody or anything. I personally, in my over 40 age limits, have come to my fill of bullshit. So I don't like people. Like, I can look at people and I'll be like, yeah, I can like you from a distance, but then you start talking crazy and reckless, and I'll be like, I don't have to.
that's so liberating. That's liberating.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, people that are, our older elders. It's kind of like their version of, I'm just going to do and say what I want. Just
Right.
talk all crazy and reckless. Just do what I want. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And you be like, wait, what happened to your filter? You ain't got no filter. I just going to do what I want. I kind of respect it.
I live by that motto. I do what I want and want what I do. Like,
hey.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll come back because like I don't give up. Beep beep. Woo-hoo.
Oh wow, you threw the beep out there? Not the beep.
I'm trying to be better in my mouth and my filters, because apparently my filters got a little dirty and stuff starts slipping through and stuff. So I'm trying to be a better person. Oh damn, it's hot as hell though.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Ooh, bring it back.
My fan with me. Ooh.
Bring it back. Oh.
Right. Okay. You gonna get this glisten.
Oh, yeah, just let it glisten. Let it glisten.
Look, my whole neck feel like it's turned beet red. Like this shirt is dumb. Okay.
Oh, and tonight we all dressed down with our logo. In case y'all didn't know, right here.
Look, like I told everybody earlier, it's Women's Month, although it's Poetic Divas year round. But we just had.
Right. So we had to come to y'all representing on top of representing. So, just to let y'all know, we do have a treat for y'all. So stay tuned. It won't be this show, but it will be this month. And this is Women's Month. So, hint, 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 hint.
Oh, look, don't judge me, y'all. Look. Ooh, praise him, won't he do it? Ooh. The joys of being old and yet not being old. Okay, so it is in 2 weeks, ain't it? Shut the front and the back door. And I was there for planning. Don't judge me, y'all. Look, can we give him a little Scooby? We ain't gonna give him the whole thing, but a little Scooby snack.
I don't know, because if there was some people up here, that I could use as a teaser, we could, but I don't see them right now. But nevertheless. So it's also about to be spring. We'll be springing forward soon. So even though, it's still remnants and, and very much going on the pandemic issues, I'm still looking forward to the spring. Looking forward to getting outside more, since we've been trapped in the house, just getting out in the warmth. So I guess, I got a couple of questions for you, Miss Dahlia.
I got a few answers for you, Nakita.
Yes. What is something that you're looking forward to in this spring as a businesswoman?
Oh, as a businesswoman. Okay. Let me back that up because Ms. Dahlia was gonna answer some questions. But as a businesswoman,
I'm glad
okay.
I
So,
added that.
girl, you know me. You know my mouth ain't right. I am looking forward to dropping this new content that we've been cultivating all pandemic. Like, okay, so we see how people dropping new books and videos and I guess secretaries and looks and like wherewithals. I mean, I don't know. People dropping a lot of shit. Okay, cool. But I am looking forward because we're not dropping our book just yet, although it might be here at the end of the year. But the book that I've been previewing for a while now, I'm actually ready to go ahead and drop it. So I'm looking forward to the collaborations of Poetic Divas Got You in the Scope, and our whole new ventures and stuff. So I'm ready. I'm looking forward. Like I can't wait.
Ooh, ooh.
Like the pictures that got you in the scope for the book covers, for
Ooh.
the visuals coming up. Like
And Got You in the Scope thoroughly enjoys those types of things. So yes, I am looking forward to that myself. Um, and I want to say for me more on well, and I guess this could be business related as well. I am working on getting my finances in order. So, along with a couple of things that I did last year, I'm hoping to, in the spring, in the summer, tighten up the budget even more and start working on some long-term investment goals. So that's what I'm excited about. I might get a little bonus or something and do a little investing.
that's man. Ooh, man, can we flip a house as Poetic Divas LLC? We could.
And so yes, when we have our next business meeting, we'll discuss my ideas on that.
I love to talk of money and residual income. Like that shit make my nipples hard. Like
Whew. Yes, so that's what I'm looking forward to. And I'm also looking forward to chatting with some of our friends that we met along the way.
right.
So, because it's just usually me and you. And, we've met some great people. So we'd just like to have a little chat with them, the three of us just catching up. So,
Right.
some surprises.
Hint, hint. No, hold on. Let me wait. Let me wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh,
Whew.
that was exciting for me. I don't know about y'all.
Well, it's some little things in our lives. I know, and I know we haven't done our usual due diligence these last 2 weeks because life has been having their way with us and like licking us in the back of the mouth and stuff. But we're gonna be better, and I'm gonna be better because I'm gonna take a nap this weekend. Like that's
Listen,
it's that bad. I just want to take a nap.
it's not because you know what? The fact that people show up when they say they are, you have to give some type of appreciation for that. Because so often people don't show up and they make no apologies for not showing up. They just don't show up and they be like, oh, well, something came up or I just couldn't do it.
Like who does that?
Oh, I got a list of people. Oh, you didn't really want to know. Oh, okay. No.
But in general, if this is a pandemic, and basically, let's make it real, like 85% of our population is unemployed still, or on
Mhm.
a please hold for employment.
Right.
So they have ample time to do stuff. I see them doing stuff all across social media and whatnot, but you can't return my call.
Okay. And I had a discussion with somebody at one point about the fact that, you know, They were like, yeah, I'll go on social media, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to answer my phone or my text. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I just feel like, not that you have to answer, but I feel like if we have a rapport, it's common courtesy because I would answer you.
Right.
So, people are they're interesting. They often want what they won't give.
Right. Oh, and here's another thing that really, really, like, okay, this tickles my pickle. No said way to Beverly Candy pickle book. Just saying.
Right.
Holla at us if you need some Beverly Candy books. But
Right.
what I'm saying is, like, I find it quite curious that people readily assume because it's a pandemic and they've been, working from home for the last year, really, that you have time, that they have time, and you have time to delegate to spending whatever free time you have with them. Like, they don't take into the consideration. Like, for me, I work in the hospital. I ain't stopped work. I stopped working. I worked from home for about 2 months last year. 2 months. And that was 2 days on, 2 days off. So I've been continuously working during this whole pandemic, outside in these streets, coming home, going back, coming home, working longer hours, working weird hours, having my hours changed. So I don't have that much time in my life. Like, I barely see my best friend, and I like to see this heifer like every day if I could. Like, but at least 2 times a week. Like, we talk every day. So for those who are home and have the luxury of doing what they want when they want, while still getting paid to do their job, like, kudos to you. I don't have that. When I'm off, which I'm not really off because I'm still a mom and I'm a full-time student and a full-time Poetic Divas, and then, my other part-time businesses. So I don't have time. So if I make time for you and you still feeling some kind of way because the time that I make for you is not the time that you want me to make for you, fuck you. I'm sorry.
That came from your core and my core as well. Because they always seem to want to complain. But you have no idea what people are dealing with on an individual basis.
Especially us with kids in college and high school, in elementary school, and grown folk. Like, for those who don't have children, which, shout out to you, kudos. I ain't got that time or the wherewithal. I do.
And you know what? Let's talk about that.
Well, I'm here. I got wine. Let's go.
So I have had some interesting conversations as I was just thinking about life in general and wondering, is it that for some people, children help to ground them and in essence pushes them to greater potential?
Yes.
Just questions. And then what happens to a lot of people? I've seen a lot of people that don't have any children. They're not as driven, or they're just kind of in a state of just lackadaisical. It's kind of like whatever. And then you have
look up lackadaisical if you don't know what the term means. It's very simple. Continue. That was petty. I'm sorry. I'm sleepy. That was petty.
And then you have those people. You have this subset of individuals that don't have children and don't have the desire to have children and have devoted themselves to a flourishing career of some sorts. And they're content, but they're driven. And they were driven, I guess, from an internal source, from some other source. And the children was not that caveat that they needed to want to be better, successful, and more focused. So this is just thoughts I have, like, Is it for some people that having a child was necessary to ground them and kind of have them on a purposeful path? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'm definitely going to agree with that, because had I not had my son when I did, whoo-hoo, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
I just feel like I need to get a sip on that. That
And
got
look,
real
and
serious.
then once he done grounded me and I refocused my life and my energy and my chakras were aligned finally, then I started wandering off again. So the Lord said, let there be a second one. So
Indeed.
well, okay, I say that in joking, but I'm for real. But for me, having children motivated me. Like, I was more driven to take care of myself and my children, to make me and myself and our existence more comfortable. Like, my kids are bougie. They have brown privilege. I'm not ashamed of that. My kids have brown privilege. My kids don't want for much. They do a lot. They do the most. They travel. They're well-traveled children. And I'm good with that. But they also look at me like, okay, mom does all this stuff, so there's no reason why I can't do nothing. Like,
Right.
now, my son, he's real laid back. He's like, cool, whatever, mom. He gets a little distracted off that. He's like, mom's gonna take care of me. To mom was like, my Negro, my G, my dog. Like, you need like a business right now. Like, you're young enough to have like 4 businesses and not have to work for nobody the rest of your life. Like,
Seriously, in the things that he enjoys,
right.
dealing with you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not
But
gonna
you know what? He was struggling this pandemic. Like, I really believe that the mental health of our children went down through in this last year, first
Oh yeah.
pandemic, because my kids were highly motivated, and then all of a sudden the world stopped and they couldn't go out. Like, and my
So they
son, right? Well, my daughter didn't. Like I said, my kids are me in 2 different bodies. So I'm fighting this thing. So my daughter was like out doing stuff like, okay, come on, what can I do? How can I do this? How can I navigate? My son's like, I'm gonna stay in the house. I don't like nobody in the house, mom. I'm gonna stay here. I ain't gonna talk to nobody. I'm gonna talk to you and my family. Like,
I mean, I get it, but that's not a realistic way to navigate society, because you're gonna have to deal with other people.
right.
You're going to have these conversations. You're going to have to build relationships. You're going to have these,
Right.
I guess, work relationships. Like, you're going to have to. You're going to have to learn how to play nice with others.
Right. And
Really.
see, I talked to you this week, best friend. But while my son has been living his best life possible with his father, for this last week.
Okay.
So I've been a motherless child for the last 2 weeks. It's going on 2 weeks now. I don't know what to do with myself right now. I don't know what to do with myself. Okay.
Go to work all day and take a nap.
Girl, have food in the refrigerator when I left. Girl. Okay. That's a whole nother focus. So while my son's been living lavishly at his father's house, he's come to the conclusion like, yo, I need to get a job. Like, So he looks and he finds a job that he wants. And all of a sudden now he's like, oh, all I needed to finish like 3 more classes, and then I have my associate's degree, and then I can get the job that I actually want. So I'm going back to school like this fall, and switching my major up, use the credits that I have to get the job that I want. Like, I'm ready, mom. Like, come on, like Rocky type thing. I was like,
is awesome.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, we got to catch up offline about that one. Ooh,
girl.
Pencil that into the private convo after the business meeting.
Right. So I feel like, the pandemic is good for locking people down to actually focus on their defaults and what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And certain people have thrived with that. It was like, yeah, I don't want to work for somebody for the rest of my life. So they entrepreneur, businesses, doing stuff like, yes, focus, like writing books that I should have wrote like back in 84, like creating content from back in 72. Like, so for some people, it's worked out. But other people who still have to work and and produce on the higher level for other people while still creating for themselves, it's been a little difficult, a little rough. And then some people who just don't have any wherewithal or fucks about working and say, hey, I ain't got nothing else to do. I might as well get a job now.
Dude, so you didn't need a job all this time that went by. You just didn't need. Oh, okay, cool. It must be nice. I would not know what that's like.
Never. We've always worked.
Always.
We've always worked more than one job. We may have high school, we had one job, around it. But then not really, because we were still progressing in our schooling and what we wanted to do. So we were still trying to cultivate other things. Like, people ain't built the same. I'm sorry.
AB honor roll. Say less.
Right. Girl. Graduating with multiple honors and degrees and stuff like that. That's what we do.
Right. So, and I guess that's why I get a little irritated with these generations that literally, for lack of a better word, think they have brown privilege. Like, you got to get yourself together. And I don't know if, having the race relations that we've had previously has enlightened them to where they understand the struggle a little bit more, and they look at it as more than just something that happened back in the day or a study in Black American history.
Right.
It's so current and relevant. So I hope that, in the midst of all that negativity that has been fresh and in the forefront, that these younger generations have taken notice.
Well, and here's another thought process. Because we've been locked down for a year, unfortunately. It's been a year, bitch. It's been a year, bitch.
What's the date?
It's a pandemic. I think it's right about.
Yeah, because I want to say it was March 14th of last year that my job told us to go remote.
Right. It's this month. I know because we had that killer trip like right here last year.
I'm hurt.
Okay, focus them up. So it's been a year, and I feel like a lot of kids growing up in this era that they've been forced to homeschool, forced to self-discipline and motivate themselves across, their school and their education and what they wanted to do, that maybe they are a little, I don't want to say sheltered or ignorant, but something along that line of the racism in the world, because they've been forced to stay within their own home. And unfortunately, your home is not racist most of the time. I mean, and if it is, you don't know it because that's what you grew up in. That's your environment. So for me to sit here and try to explain to my children that the height of racism, I mean, for my daughter, she totally gets it. She's an activist, advocate. She's right there. My son, not so much, because he's like, I don't like people, Mom. I'm staying in my room. Like, call me when lunch is ready. Like, so he doesn't know. And that's frightening for me because he is a Black man in America. But at the same time, I kind of like it because he's a Black man in America. He's alive in my house. It's a two-fold. It's a double-edged sword.
I know. And it's so hard to not try to protect our Black sons and hold them a little bit closer. It's really a difficult balance. You want them to get out there, assert themselves, figure it all out, be productive, do your best, but at the same time, you're like, oh my God, like, I don't want you out there, and I don't want you to be misunderstood.
I don't want you to be a hashtag, basically. Like,
Period.
Because if you a hashtag, I'm going to jail. I'm sorry. I'm
okay. You know what? We're gonna sit. It's time for a sit.
Okay. Because I mean, we know us as Black moms, we try to prepare them and enable them to deal with the racism of this world. But at the same time, you don't want to handicap them.
Exactly.
And so many people, I feel like a lot of Black men have been handicapped or traumatized to the point where as they grow up and progress in their lifetime, they use that past trauma as a crutch or
Ooh.
as some kind of way to
Manipulate situations. I'm sorry.
right.
I'm sorry. I felt that in my spirit. My
Right,
stomach.
right, and you know that a lot of Black men growing up have dealt with all these traumatic experiences in relationships and just like living, that it affects them on every cellular level of their being, and sometimes it manifests themselves in ways that they didn't know. Like, so how do you, as a Black mother, as a Black woman, as a Black queen, as a woman's mother, make that trauma less, make it less prevalent in the forefront of their relationships with themselves? Like, how do you allow them to look at themselves as the kings that they are without handicapping them to saying like, you're a king, but you're only a king if you can take care of a queen? Like, you don't want that mentality with your men. You want them to be able to provide and protect, but how do you protect and provide for them?
And see, I really feel like it comes down to the communication, the education of knowing who they are. You know, it's a lot of different documentaries, a lot of different thoughts and teachings on that subject. And it's all about having the dialogue
Right,
and, opening up the dialogue with people that you trust, you know, and doing your research. It's so much out there, but not being to the point where you're gullible, where you're taking everything that you run across as truth, but using it as a pillar for discussion.
right.
I feel like that's a safer way to go. Don't take everyone's word as gospel, because people's words come with manipulation.
Right. And don't be so naive by that your past relationships or current relationships with people that you don't see the deception.
Right.
Because a lot of people I find who have friendships or relationships or whatever, they operate from a place of, I've known this person for so long, so therefore they have my best interests at heart. You have to know who you surround yourself with. And I feel like youthful people don't have that knowledge because they're naive to it. They haven't experienced that. Like my children, and I go back to my children. It's supposed to be a children's section, but my children, I talk to them about this. Like, they may be your friend now, but they may not be your friend tomorrow or a year from now. And unfortunately, they've experienced that. They experience like, yo, we were cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden now I don't like you. So I'm throwing all this salt on your name. And then they feel like I have to defend myself or assert myself against that negative energy that people are dispelling against me. I'm like, no, baby, you are your own energy. You control your center of gravity. So if someone's going to talk about you, let them talk about you. Congratulations, you have haters. You're doing something right. But at the same time, you can't allow them to take the energy from you and use and allow them to use your energy for their good while creating you in a negative space. That's not how it works in life. You have to be
Exactly.
controlled.
Exactly. And I feel, maturity about all of the subjects is key. And just being open to have discussions. A lot of times parents try to shield, their children. We have to be, open. Like, yeah, this is a reality. This is where we are, but this is how we can, handle it. This is how we can evolve. This is how we can cope. This is how we can process. Back to communication, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not just a dating relationship that this communication and lack thereof in the pandemic has affected.
Mm-hmm.
It has, it's done something to all types of relationships. And it has, caused us to also evaluate those relationships and see if they were genuine. If we really hear from people, if people really care, or if it's just one of those type of situations where, we're going to go hang out. We're going to go get some drinks. We're going to have a good old time. But you don't care that I'm dealing with things in my personal life, or you don't care that, I've been feeling really down. You don't care how I'm actually doing. You just want to know, if I feel like hanging out. And so with not being able to hang out, it has really shed true light on the meaning of a lot of relationships. That they mean nothing. And so there's that. I'm sorry.
You're right though, because you really value the people who actually check up on you and who know when to check up on you, because people can play nice for their social media but really be like, I don't want to be here for real.
Exactly.
So I've attempted, because I don't like too many people, but the people that I do like, I try to check in on them. I make a conscious effort to reach out every few weeks, look, I know I'm running, I'm doing a lot, life is crazy, but how you doing? You good? You straight? I'm not for the fake. So I will hit you up in the inbox, so you good, whatever. I'm not one who does stuff just for social media gratification, making a big thing across blah 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 blah.
No. Oh, you mean like those posts where, you know what? Yeah, I'm leaving Facebook for a while. Okay. Facebook gonna still be there when you get back. Say less.
Right. All those people who be up on Facebook all the time talking about I did this, I didn't discover this about myself, blah blah blah, or me and Bay cooking for me, I'm about to cook for Bay, we doing this together, blah blah blah. I don't give a damn about that. For real, really, do you give a damn about it, or do you give a damn enough to post it so the people will care about what the shit you doing on Facebook? That's my whole thing. Don't display your relationship on Facebook simply for the likes and not for the like of yourself. And a lot of people are doing that. I don't know if they're doing that because it makes them feel like they are a part of something more than what they are, or if they're doing it generally because that's the only way they feel anything about it. Anything. I don't know. I have questions. I may not get answers.
And that's okay. Because we'll have to come together and answer those questions.
But I really don't care about the answers. So there's that.
Well, say less. We'll move on to the next bottle and the next glass the next time.
Right.
So, I enjoyed this conversation because people should always take the situation you're put in and use it as a learning opportunity. And truly, the pandemic has taught me a lot about having good, healthy relationships on top of what I already tried to practice. So finding, the sun in the midst of the clouds, I must say I'm thankful for that.
And I'm thankful for the revelations during the pandemic, because I thought my circle was small beforehand. But now during this pandemic, I realized that I don't have a circle. I don't even have a comma. I don't even know what the hell it's called anymore.
A dot? You put a period? You just got a
semicolon?
Semicolon.
Oh. No, I ain't adding nothing else. I ain't adding no new friends.
No.
Ooh. No, but you know me, best friend, it's hard for me to consider people friends. So when I do, I generally and truly mean it. But during this pandemic, I've noticed certain people that I've considered myself close with. I've noticed how our relationship has changed throughout the pandemic. And it may not be for the bad or for the good, but I've just noticed how how they move and how their energies move. And I realized in my old age, I ain't got to put up with shit. So I'm like, oh.
And you know what they say, when people show you who they are, believe them. And I believe.
I believe them too, but you also got to be careful with that notion too, because people like, yeah, when the people show you who they are, believe them, but don't believe me because you know me longer. I'm just saying, like, it's a double-edged sword.
Oh my gosh. You know what? That's a whole nother issue. That's for another show topic and a whole nother set of damn polls. What? Anyway, we ain't even gonna unpack that tonight. But you know what?
What?
I think I'm done for tonight because
We can go night night.
look,
We've been done.
Listen, we have unpacked and looked at these polls.
Mm-hmm.
We have given our thoughts on the matter. And
look at each other.
Look, and we didn't say what we said, so we dropping the mic on that thing.
Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Who gonna check me? Who gonna check my best friend?
Oh, that's what I thought. I don't hear nothing.
Don't let this weed fool you, because I would take this hair and whoop your ass and be done with it.
Oh Lord, see why we always got to be fighting on the show. I'm saying.
The only person I would fight for, or anyhow, is you. I ain't fighting over no nigga. I ain't having no nigga fighting over me. I ain't fighting no woman. But what I will fight over is my children and my best friend.
Yo, listen. You know what? That's why I got to conceal carry. I ain't even got time to be fighting because I'm too cute.
Well, I'm going to get mine, even though my kids say I ain't stable enough to have
it.
I'm going to try.
You got this. But anyway, we love y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We will see y'all in 2 weeks. Be on the lookout for 2 polls. And just take notice of things, because you might see something and might intrigue you. But you will get no answers if you're not stand tuned in.
Right. Watch out. Like, I feel like this is like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where's Waldo? Like, I need y'all to watch out. Like, the first person, okay, here. The first person that DMs us and with what you see is going to get a special treat.
Oh.
Be on the lookout for something. And if you see it, screenshot it, send it to our Poetic Divas LLC DM, and we got a treat for you.
Absolutely. And also, we will be announcing some more contests.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is stay in the know. So you will what? Know.
Now, know means K-N-O-W, not N-O.
Not N-O.
K-N-O-W.
Right.
People
so until then,
you got to specify, because some people don't know.
Look, y'all better get right.
Okay, and on that note, shoot, we out. I'm tired.
Mwah. Poetic Divas.
Somebody do some homework for me.
No.